Hi, I'm Eric from RockyMountainATVMC.com, and today I'm going to show you how to replace the brake pads front and rear on a motorcycle. We'll need a service manual and some common hand tools. And Rocky Mountain sells a wide variety of brake pads in various compounds. The two most popular compounds are the carbon and sintered metal. Carbon pads generally create less heat and are better for dry riding conditions. Sintered metal pads offer higher friction and are recommended for mud, sand, and racing. We're going to install the Tusk sintered metal brake pads. To start with, we're going to spread the brake pads to give us a little extra room in there. It also pushes the piston back into the caliper. We're going to remove the brake pin. On some models, such as KTM's, that's held in with clips instead of the pins. So you just go ahead and pull those clips out. Back to the Honda, we're going to pull the pads out. Sometimes you have to wiggle them around or move the wheel sometimes to get them out. Now we're going to clean off our brake pin. We're going to inspect it for grooves. If there's any grooves, go ahead and replace it. We're going to take our new pads and put them back in the caliper. The one end has a dog ear on it. Need to make sure it gets in the right slot. I like to start the pin on the one side, and we're going to go to the inner pad, slide that in its front groove. Sometimes you have to wiggle it around, maneuver it. Now slide the pin the rest of the way through. Make sure there's no binding, and tighten that up. Generally it's about 13 foot-pounds, but refer to your service manual for the correct specifications for your machine. Now an important part is to pump the brake back up to push that piston back out. Moving on to the front, we're going to remove the disc guard, and then we need to spread our brake pads again. You can see that we're carefully pushing the pistons back into the caliper. There's a little cover that covers the brake pin. We're going to remove that, and then inside is the actual brake pin. We'll take that out, remove the pads. Once again, sometimes you have to move things around a little bit to get the pads to fall out. We're now going to install the new pads. Because it's difficult to see, I have removed the caliper to show how the pads fit into the caliper. It is important to make sure the ear of the pads fit into the caliper properly. We're going to install a Tusk brake pin. It actually has an 8mm head on it, so it does away with the cap and the Allen brake pin. This makes it so it's a little bit faster to remove, plus there's no chance of losing the cap or messing up the threads. Now we've got that in, we pump the brakes back up to push the piston back out against the pads, and you're done.